Now that Season 3 has drawn to a close, the Movie Recap Pro team is looking ahead into the future of the Rings of Power, with Season 2 leaving fans on the edge of their seats and more stories left to be told. We explore 4 thrilling plot theories for Season 3. There is much that can still be discovered, especially when we consider the series' connection to the Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion. Tolkien's world is rich with untold stories, and the Rings of Power is just starting to scratch the surface of Middle-earth's deep history. So, what could happen next? If you're not caught up on the first 2 seasons, beware, there are spoilers ahead. But if you're all caught up and ready to speculate, let's dive into these 4 exciting plot theories for Season 3. 1. The full return of Sauron. Who are you truly? I am the one keeping the storm at bay. Sauron has been a shadowy figure throughout the Rings of Power, with the big twist in Season 1 revealing his identity as Halbrand. You know who I am. I am your friend. You are a friend of Moros. But in Season 2, he shapeshifts once more to become far more elvish and closer to his true identity. In Season 3, we could see Sauron make his full return in a form more consistent with Tolkien lore, becoming something far more terrifying. In the Silmarillion, Sauron is originally a Maya, a powerful spirit who served Morgoth, the first Dark Lord. Early in his existence, he could take on fair forms, using beauty and charisma to deceive others, which matches the flashback scenes in Season 2. This is why he was able to infiltrate Númenor and manipulate its people before its eventual downfall. But after the destruction of Númenor and the loss of his physical body, Sauron could no longer take on his beautiful form, becoming the terrifying, formless Dark Lord we know from the Lord of the Rings. The shift from a charming aesthetic to the menacing, disfigured Dark Lord we know from the Lord of the Rings would be a perfect progression. Sauron's new form could also coincide with his increased control over Mordor and the forging of the One Ring. In addition to Sauron's physical transformation, we may also see the lingering psychological toll on the characters who trusted him. Galadriel, in particular, is likely to continue grappling with the guilt of helping him realize his true power. Her relationship with Sauron has been a fascinating thread, and Season 3 could dive deeper into the impact of her decisions, further setting up her development into the wise, cautious ruler we know from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. 2. The fall of Númenor. Númenor's fate is one of the most tragic and significant events in Middle-earth's history. As fans of Tolkien's works know, Númenor is a powerful island kingdom that was given to the men for aiding the elves and defeating Morgoth. However, their pride and desire for immortality ultimately lead to their downfall. With tensions rising in Númenor throughout Season 2, it seems inevitable that Season 3 will begin to unravel the threads of this kingdom's eventual destruction. Tolkien's writings, particularly in the Akallabeth, detail how Númenor's rulers grew increasingly arrogant, eventually defying the Valar, the godlike beings who helped shape the world. The key player in Númenor's fall is Ar-Pharazôn, whose influence we saw growing in strength in Season 2. His ambition will likely be the driving force in Season 3, as he consolidates power and seeks to expand Númenor's dominance. In Tolkien's Legendarium, Ar-Pharazôn becomes the last king of Númenor after staging a coup and marrying Queen Miriel against her will to legitimize his claim. Under his rule, Númenor grows more aggressive and militaristic, leading to the fateful decision to challenge the Valar by sailing to Valinor in an attempt to gain immortality. This act of defiance leads to the island's catastrophic destruction, with Númenor being sunk beneath the waves in an event likely inspired by the tales of Atlantis. Season 3 could lay the groundwork for this eventual disaster. We're already seeing the cracks form in Númenor society. Queen Regent Miriel was blinded in Season 1, and now the kingdom's leadership is threatening to be divided, with Ar-Pharazôn's influence building. Season 3 could delve deeper into his schemes and how Sauron might exploit the Númenorian growing lust for power. In Tolkien's writing, Sauron is taken as a prisoner to Númenor, but he quickly manipulates Ar-Pharazôn and his court, leading them to their downfall. Whether we see this storyline play out exactly as in the books remains to be seen, but the pieces are all in place. Not only will the fall of Númenor be a visually stunning sequence if depicted on screen, but it will also have lasting consequences for the world of Middle-earth. Many of Númenor's survivors flee to Middle-earth and establish the kingdoms of Arnor and Gondor, which are central to the story of The Lord of the Rings. Season 3 might start to show the seeds of these future kingdoms being planted, especially if Númenor's decline accelerates. 3. The Blue Wizards. The Blue Wizards are one of the greatest mysteries of Tolkien's world, and the Rings of Power has the perfect opportunity to explore their story. In the Silmarillion and other writings, Tolkien briefly mentions the existence of two blue wizards, Alatar and Pallando, who were sent to the east of Middle-earth to combat Sauron's influence. However, their fate is largely unknown, leaving fans to speculate about what happened to them. In Season 2, we saw the Stranger, who we now know for sure is Gandalf, traveling east in search of his true identity. This journey takes him towards Run, a mysterious region in the east that could be a gateway to the story of the Blue Wizards. Could Season 3 finally introduce these enigmatic figures? It would certainly be a welcome moment for fans everywhere, having the legendary wizards finally on screen. In Middle-earth lore, the Blue Wizards' mission was to weaken Sauron's hold over the eastern lands, which are often mentioned in Tolkien's works but rarely explored in depth. Their introduction could open up new storylines about the cultures and lands far beyond the familiar regions of Middle-earth. Run and Harad are vast territories, and the Blue Wizards may have spent centuries trying to rally resistance against Sauron's forces there. Alternatively, there is the possibility that the Blue Wizards failed in their mission and were corrupted by Sauron, as Tolkien speculated in some of his writings. If this is the case, Season 3 could depict Gandalf encountering his fallen comrades and realizing that not all of the Astari succeeded in their tasks. This would add an intriguing dynamic to Gandalf's journey, meaning the Blue Wizards could influence his later decisions when he faces Sauron during the events of The Lord of the Rings. Whether they are heroes fighting in the shadows or tragic figures who succumb to Sauron's influence, the Blue Wizards would be a welcome addition to the Rings of Power. Their inclusion would expand the show's scope beyond the familiar lands of the West and allow viewers to see a new side of Middle-earth, one filled with untold magic, mystery, and danger. 4. The creation of the Ringwraiths. In Season 2, Sauron tricked Celebrimbor into forging the fabled 9 Rings of Men. While the Elves' rings are safe from Sauron's direct control, he has snatched the 9 rings back from Galadriel. Once given to men, their lives will face a far darker fate. In Season 3, their journey could pave the way for the creation of the Ringwraiths. In Tolkien's lore, the 9 rings are given to powerful kings and warriors among men, and these rings grant them long life and great power. The men who wear these rings are seduced by the promise of immortality, but over time, they fade into shadows, becoming an undead race who crave the One Ring and are bound to the Dark Lord's will. Season 3 could explore how Sauron distributes these 9 rings, targeting ambitious and easily corrupted leaders. He could watch the gradual corruption of these men, from proud rulers to hollowed-out wraiths fully under Sauron's command. Some of these characters can be introduced early on as seemingly noble or heroic figures, making their eventual fall into darkness even more tragic. The transformation into the Ringwraiths is one of the most haunting elements in Tolkien's legendarium, and the Rings of Power can delve into the psychological and supernatural aspects of their decay. The creation of the Nazgûl would add an element of horror to the series, as these men, once great and powerful, lose their humanity. By the time Sauron forges the One Ring, they are fully enslaved to him, becoming the most feared servants, destined to hunt the One Ring and terrorize Middle-earth for centuries. Season 3 has the potential to be the most epic yet, with Sauron's rise to power, the fall of Númenor, the possible introduction of the Blue Wizards, and the creation of more rings. With so much more lore left to explore, the next chapter in the Rings of Power promises to be an unforgettable journey into Tolkien's world. What are your theories for Season 3? Thank you for watching Movie Recap Pro, and stay tuned for more streaming news.